morning, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. Thank you for being here. And on behalf of Cardiac Vascular Sentral, Kuala Lumpur, or for short, CVSKL, I'd like to once again say a warm welcome. We'd like to invite all the doctors of CVSKL to kindly proceed to the hospital reception area for a photo session, which will take place shortly. To all doctors in attendance this morning, we'd like to invite all of you to kindly adjourn to the reception area at the hospital to kindly proceed for a photo session, which will take place shortly. Thank you, doctors. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, a very good morning and a warm welcome to the official launch of Vascular Sentral Kuala Lumpur Hospital. My name is Terence and I shall be your MC for this morning. I'd like to invite everyone to kindly take your seats. And if you're just joining us, please do kindly make your way in the seating area. We'd like to also kindly request your cooperation to place all sound-emitting electronic devices on silent mode for the short duration of this event. Ladies and gentlemen, before we begin, we'd like to direct your attention to the screens as we're about to show you where we are here at the event venue. Now, just across the short distance from us is the emergency assembly point, which you can access in the unlikely event of any emergency using the exits on my left, perhaps your right, and you may proceed in that direction towards the assembly point. Please do kindly remain calm and follow the instructions of our security officials. Thank you for your kind cooperation, ladies and gentlemen. We shall begin shortly. Upon the announcement of the arrival of the Honorable Prime Minister of Malaysia, please kindly rise and do remain standing for the national anthem, which will play shortly thereafter. Thank you. As soon as doctors of CVSKL arrive, we'll be welcoming the Honorable Prime Minister, who's just a short distance away. I'd like to invite everyone to kindly be on standby to welcome the Honorable Prime Minister. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please kindly rise. Announcing the arrival of Yang Amat Berhormat Tun Dr. Mahathir bin Mohamad, the Prime Minister of Malaysia, accompanied by the Chairman of Vascular Sentral Kuala Lumpur, Yang Berbahagia Tan Sri Datuk Dr. Yahya bin Awang. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing in honor of the national anthem of Malaysia, the Negaraku. Thank you, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Do kindly be seated. Thank you, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Do kindly be seated. Before we proceed further, allow me to invite Ustaz Abu Hafiz Salehuddin to lead us in the recitation of the opening dua.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in. اللهم اغفر لنا ذنوبنا ولإخواننا الذين سبقونا بالإيمان ولا تجعل في قلوبنا غلا للذين آمنوا ربنا إنك رؤوف رحيم. Ya Allah, Ya Rahim, praise be to God, the Lord of the worlds. Peace and blessing be upon our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his companions and for those who followed his example to the day of judgment. Allahumma ya Allah, on this blessed morning in conjunction with the official launch of CVSKL, we beseech thee and grateful towards you in favor of all infinite blessings to us, your humble servant, to live in safe and prosperous life. We seek your blessing for a flawless progress for this event from the beginning till the end. We seek your guidance to steer clear of events that would detrimental the progress of this event. Ya Dal Jalali wal Ikram, please bless us with your tawfiq and hidayah. Please guide CVSKL community to greatness, peace, glory and prosperity in this world and the hereafter. Make CVSKL a responsible and successful medical institution, granted us with a valuable knowledge and service that will be beneficial to mankind in order to gain your mardatillah. Make us your righteous servant that followed your commands and neglect the sinful act. Please forgive us for our wrongdoings. Ya Munzil al-Barakat, bestow peace to our beloved country, Malaysia. Preserve us from any threats and disaster, neither man-made nor natural disaster. And to you, Ya Allah, we ask for security and prosperity upon us, our leaders and our country. Bestow patience in us in order to face the challenges from you. Please accept our deeds and please reward us accordingly. ربنا عليك توكلنا وإليك أنبنا وإليك المصير. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. صلى الله على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Thank you, Yang Berusaha Ustaz. Yang Amat Berhormat, Tun Dr. Mahathir bin Mohamad, the Prime Minister of Malaysia, and wife Yang Amat Berbahagia, Tun Dr. Siti Hasma, Muhammad Ali. Yang Amat Mulia, Tunku Besar Sri Menanti, Tunku Ali Ritaudin, Ibni Tuanku Mukhris. Yang Berhormat, Cabinet Minister in attendance, and Yang Amat Berhormat, Menteri Besar in attendance and wife. Yang Berbahagia, Tan Sri, Dato Dr. Yahya bin Awang, Chairman of CVSKL, and Puan Sri, Dato Dr. Suraya Hani. To all distinguished guests in attendance, we thank you, honored guests, patients, partners, doctors, families and friends, and members of the media for your kind attendance this morning. Once again, we thank you for being here with us on this momentous day. Cardiac Vascular Central Kuala Lumpur, or CVSKL for short, is an integrated cardiac vascular hospital specializing in comprehensive modern care for patients with cardiac and vascular diseases. With an ongoing excellent track record and achievements, highly qualified and dedicated teams within their respective areas, premier standards with state-of-the-art equipment and facilities, and a very strong, reputable support staff, CVSKL is another great milestone for our country's healthcare development and achievement. Ladies and gentlemen, CVSKL is a partnership between the doctors and TE Healthcare, which is controlled by global private investment firm TPG. But I'll stop my introductions here and allow the people behind this great achievement to kindly share more with you this morning. On that note, it is my sincere pleasure to invite Yang Berbahagia Tan Sri Dato Dr. Yahya bin Awang, the chairman of CVSKL, to kindly take the stage to present his welcoming remarks.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, dan salam sejahtera. Yang amat berhormat Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad, Perdana Menteri Malaysia, Yang amat berbahagia Tun Dr. Siti Hasmah Muhammad Ali, Yang amat mulia Tengku Besar Seri Menanti Tengku Ali Ridhahuddin Ibni Tengku Mukris, Yang berhormat Menteri Hal Ehwal Ekonomi Malaysia, Yang amat berhormat Menteri Besar Johor, His Excellencies the Ambassadors, Div kehormat dan para hadirin sekalian. Bagi pihak ahli pengarah, pakar-pakar dan semua pekerja di CVSKL, saya ingin mengucapkan ribuan terima kasih kerana sudi melapangkan masa untuk bersama rakan-rakan saya di CVSKL hari ini. Hari bersejarah ini adalah besar maknanya kepada kami dan saya ingin mengucapkan ribuan terima kasih kepada Perdana Menteri Yang Amat Berhormat Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad kerana sudi merasmikan hospital kami. Ini adalah penghormatan yang besar kepada kami dan keluarga CVSKL semua. Terima kasih Yang Amat Berhormat Tun. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the official launch of this hospital, Cardiac Vascular Sentral Kuala Lumpur, or CVSKL. This dedicated and specialized hospital is formed by the coming together of a group of like-minded, dedicated and experienced specialists whose singular goal is to improve the lives of patients who struggle with heart and valvular disease. We cannot do it without our main investor, TPG, and our health management company, TE Healthcare. Our focus is on the treatment of cardiovascular diseases using advanced technologies, well-trained, friendly, and committed staff dedicated to quality and personalized care. CVSKL opened its doors to the public just 8 months ago, and in this short period of time, we have touched the lives of no less than 10,000 heart patients who have sought treatment here. We have performed more than 80 open heart surgeries, more than 300 vascular surgeries, and no less than 600 cardiological procedures like angiograms, angioplasties, stents, and electrophysiological procedures. Numbers are encouraging, but it is the satisfaction of seeing our patients do well that drive us to look forward positively. We are committed to playing a pivotal role in reducing the devastating toll of heart and vascular diseases amongst Malaysians. More importantly, we'll be doing this in an environment of mutual consultations and discussions among the various consultants so that the only best option is offered to the patient. Ladies and gentlemen, like all diseases, prevention and detection is crucial in the early stage is crucial to reduce the burden of a disease. CVSKL is fully aware of this, and with the acquisition of HealthScan, we have the expertise, the tools, and the resources to do screening procedures and therefore diagnose and treat heart disease at an early stage. Public education through all forms of media, including radio, TV, and social media, regarding heart health will be a priority of CVSKL. Ladies and gentlemen, we are all familiar with the saying, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. In this respect, at the outset, we hope to have a strong CSR component in our service. We are considering and have already begun talks with the Ministry of Health to see how we can help to reduce the burden of managing patients with heart diseases in this country, to reduce waiting lists, to provide CSR services in public hospitals and universities where necessary, and assist in training of various categories of staffs and paramedics in cardiovascular medicine. Ladies and gentlemen, as cardiovascular diseases remains the #1 cause of morbidity and mortality, not only in Malaysia, but in the rest of the world too, as you know, heart disease knows no boundaries. Coupled with the strategic location of CVSKL in the transportation hub of Malaysia, where is the meeting point of air, train, bus, MRT, and even ERL, this hospital is well poised to play its role in medical tourism, which has already begun and can only flourish in the future. In fact, with MHTC anchoring on cardiology-related services as one of the niche specialties offered on account of the excellent services available in this country, Malaysia is being positioned as the cardiology hub of Asia. MHTC has indicated that CVSKL will be playing a major role as one of the anchor hospitals. Last but not least, to enable us to realize our ambition of being involved in training, education, community service with a vibrant CSR program and research, we hope to establish the CVSKL Foundation. This will allow us to be in the forefront and play a bigger role in the provision of cardiovascular services in Malaysia. The challenge to all who work in CVSKL is to push the boundaries of service and discovery while continuing with a renewed level of accountability and performance. We are proud of what we have started, and we are excited about our future. We hope we will make a difference in the overall care of people with cardiovascular problems, both locally and regionally. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for sharing this momentous occasion with us today. Terima kasih. Wabillahi taufiq wa hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Yang Berbahagia Tan Sri Dr. Yahya. And now, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, allow us to direct your attention to the screen as we showcase for you a video presentation on CVSKL.
In today's fast-paced world, quality healthcare is one of the most important factors of how people perceive quality of life. This is where Cardiac Vascular Sentral Kuala Lumpur comes in. Situated in the bustling heart of the capital city, this integrated and specialist hospital provides some of the most comprehensive, cutting-edge adult cardiovascular care in Malaysia and puts its patients in the center of all its activities in order to ensure that it is a truly patient-centered cardiac and vascular hospital. Featuring among the most established and experienced clinical experts, the team of specialists in CVSKL collectively bring with them over 600 years of expertise, guided by Tan Sri Dr. Yahya bin Awang as the chairman and one of the founding doctors. Each a respected professional in their field, they are backed by a sterling track record of achievements, providing patients with premier standards of evidence-based, professional and holistic care. Complementing each other in providing the appropriate and necessary treatments in cardiac and vascular surgery, interventional cardiology, or electrophysiology, the specialists work in multidisciplinary teams with trained nursing and support staff to offer excellence in patient care. Heart disease remains the top cause of mortality in Malaysia, and so our aim is to be the region's cardiac and vascular center of excellence, rising above the ordinary to provide one of the most efficient, specialized private healthcare in Malaysia. From our advanced hybrid operating theatre to the electrophysiology lab, fully equipped labs, intensive care units, intensive and high dependency units, we offer the advanced yet appropriate equipment and facilities in our 60-bedded hospitals. There is no denying that at CVSKL, we want to cement our position as the center of excellence and expertise in cardiovascular care, not only in Malaysia, but in the region. We will put passion and expertise at the core of everything we do, enable a quality healthcare service that is holistic in its delivery, invest in our people to upskill and bring out their best, and most importantly, at CVSKL, we will take the matters of your heart to our heart. Heart with heart.
And on that note, it is my distinct pleasure to now invite the Honorable Prime Minister of Malaysia, Yang Mahathir Tun Dr. Mahathir bin Mohamad, to kindly deliver his address to us this morning. Please help me welcome the Honorable Prime Minister of Malaysia.
Yang berhormat, yang amat berhormat, Datuk-Datuk, Datin-Datin, Tan Sri, seterusnya hadirin sekalian. Saya ucap terima kasih kepada CVS Kuala Lumpur ni, Cardiac Vascular Center Kuala Lumpur, yang telah jemput saya untuk meresmikan fasilitas perubatan yang terbaru ini. Sebenarnya I was very impressed when I came here. I was impressed with the building. I was also impressed with the number of specialists. Of course, we know nowadays there is no end to the number of specialists. They keep on looking at smaller and smaller parts of the human body, and they specialize in this. Now, of course, they are looking at our cells, the tiniest component of our body. I don't know what else they are going to do. As for me, they have taken away my certificate to practice. I'm no longer a doctor, but they kindly say that I can prescribe Panadol. Still, I appreciate the forward-looking specialists in this country. They are always looking at improving the facilities for healthcare in this country. I would like to claim that my heart was responsible for this, because I had a heart attack some time ago. Since then, facilities have improved and improved until it has reached a stage when it is world-class, truly world-class. I'm quite sure that there will be more and more equipment and machines to help the doctors deliver the kind of service that they are trained to deliver. I would like to congratulate the people who thought up this idea of a CVS center. I'm quite sure this is yet another step forward in terms of health treatment, healthcare in Malaysia. We can provide healthcare of a very high standard, but the problem, of course, is the cost seems to be going up and up. I'm quite sure that this particular institution will be very charitable and would also think that poor people also should have access to the best quality treatment that we can deliver in this country. I'm quite sure that in future we are going to see even more advances in the treatment of sick people. But as you can see from the picture just now, the people were all running around, they never walk. And when they run around, they put a strain on their heart and they will need heart treatment. Also, this country is very prosperous. I have not found anybody starving, except in the past when somebody in Baling was supposed to have died of starvation. But since then, I only see a lot of obese people in Malaysia. That is going to be a cause for more heart treatment because people eat so well in this country. They can have a taste of any kind of cuisine from all over the world. It is great, of course, to be able to taste all these nice foods, but one has to remember that it puts a strain on our system, in particular the heart. So you have come with this hospital at the right time, at a time when people are very prosperous and are more prone to heart diseases and vascular diseases. So I would like to congratulate you on this fantastic idea. I'm quite sure it will be well received by Malaysians. But today, of course, we can provide treatment not only for Malaysians, but a lot of foreign people. If the center becomes well known, I'm quite sure the tourism industry would also benefit. People would be able to come here, stay here for some period of time, spend money on many things as well as on medical treatment. The country will benefit from this. We would like to see more people coming to this country because we need to solve our financial problem at the moment. But I'm quite sure with your help, we will overcome our problems and Malaysia will be known as a center for medical treatment, not only for the heart, but for other diseases as well. So with this hope and this belief that this hospital will be a great asset to this country, I would like to launch this CVS today. I thank you.
Thank you, Yang Berhormat. We'd like to invite you, sir, to kindly remain on stage as I invite Yang Berbahagia Tan Sri, Dr. Yahya, and Yang Mamulia Tunku Ali to kindly join the Honourable Prime Minister on stage for the official launch ceremony. I would like to now invite Yang Berbahagia Tan Sri, Dr. Yahya, to kindly present a 3D heart to the Honourable Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad. And on a count of 3, I would like to invite the Honourable Prime Minister to place the 3D heart into the launch gambit. Ladies and gentlemen, the heart symbolizes the tagline of CVSKL, Heart with Heart. 1, 2, 3. Thank you, Yang Mahormat to Dr. Mahathir bin Mohamad for officially launching CVSKL. I'd like to now invite Yang Mulia Tunku Ali to kindly indicate to the Honorable Prime Minister to pen his signature on the officiating plaque to signify the launch of CVSKL. We'd like to invite all three distinguished guests to kindly proceed to the center of the stage, the final part of our event. In thanking the Honorable Prime Minister for joining us here this morning, I would like to once again invite Yang Berbahagia Tan Sri Dato Dr. Yahya to present a memento of our sincere appreciation, a basket of fruits, a token of good health to the Honorable Prime Minister. I'd like to invite our Honorable Prime Minister, Yang Berbahagia Tan Sri and Yang Mulia Tunku to kindly pose for a few photographs for the media. Members of the media, please kindly record this moment. And on that note, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in thanking Yang Mahormat Tun Dr. Mahathir bin Mohamad, the Honorable Prime Minister of Malaysia, for joining us in officially launching CVSKL. I would like to invite Yang Berbahagia Tan Sri Dato Dr. Yahya to kindly accompany the Honorable Prime Minister on a tour of CVSKL. Ladies and gentlemen, please kindly be seated. We will be explaining to you the entire tour as it unfolds. We have Dr. Rosli and Dr. Thurai Singham who will now take the stage. And we do have a live feed that will show you the tour in detail. And Dr. Rosli and Dr. Thurai Singham will kindly elaborate further. Over to you, doctors.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us for this momentous launch of our new CVSKL. Can I please ask you to remain seated for this part of the entertainment, if we can call ourselves that. Now we're going to take you on a virtual tour. We are your tour operators. This is my buddy and long-standing friend, Dr. Rosli, and I'm Sentral Singham. All right. At the moment, I think our team is taking Tun M and the rest of our visitors to the top floor, which is the operating theater, and they will have a look around there, and then they will proceed to the cardiac cath lab, which is where we do most of our interventional procedures and pacing procedures, and then they will go to health scan. And we'll tell you more about these places as we go along.
Yeah. So, you know, the fifth floor is actually the live center for the hospital, as in any active cardiac vascular hospitals. There's an OT and cath lab there, and of course the ICU is placed over there. They'll be visiting a cath lab, an OT, and also a hybrid lab. And ladies and gentlemen, please don't get it wrong. Hybrid lab doesn't mean that we are going to breed new species between lichens and vampires. It's a place where it's a combination of where the surgeons or the cardiologists or vascular surgeons can actually do procedures and even operate in a single room. So that's what we term it as a hybrid lab.
Now, if you're wondering how long this whole hospital has taken to come to fruition, it started about 3.5 years ago,
Yep.
when a few of us, Dr. Selvam, Dr. Tan, me, and Tan Sri Yaya, of course, approached us with the TPG team who you will meet, Dr. Ganan and his fellow TPG members. and a few other investors, and we thought of coming up with this hospital. Now, the idea was that we felt like working in an environment where we could work with friends we trusted, friends we've known for a long time, so we can refer patients happily, knowing they're getting the best care. Now, we come from different facets of cardiology. We have interventional expert, Rosli, well known throughout the region. We have Dr. Razali, a well-known electrophysiologist and probably the best known in this region too. And then we have Dr. Selvam, who came from Damansara, a big giant of a cardiologist there with a huge following, and a whole host of other specialists, anaesthetists, radiologists, and other cardiologists, Dr. Lawrence Chan, Dr. Chu Kim Hui from Sime Darby, and Kim Tan and I from Sunway.
You know, there are 5 of us from IGN. So I've been in IGN since inception for the last 25 years. A few of us, 23 to 24 years of experience over there. So I remember vividly this day. That's Tun changing into gear. So anyway, I remember vividly that day when Suren, Selvam and Kim Tan called me to discuss. And I said, something must be really big here because they brought me to a nice place for a drink. And there it was, and the way that they shared the vision, and it was very attractive to be able to have a new challenge. My second official launch other than IGN's, a new hospital, I'm very proud of it. And, you know, to continue doing good work and working with good people. And these are the things that actually was able to, you know, brought me out, at least from IGN.
From IGN, we also have the 2 top anesthetists, Dr. Sharifah and Dr. Sharil, and the heart failure king of Malaysia, Dr. David Chu. So this really covered the entire gamut of cardiovascular diseases. But being cardiologists, we are also troublemakers. We give drugs that cause side effects like gastric problems, bleeding, and in patients who present to us with chest pain and symptoms of heart disease frequently have gastrointestinal problems. So it was essential we had gastroenterologists in the hospital, and we were blessed by this entire team who come from different corners of KL to be our gastro department, and they occupy most of the 6th floor. And the other problems we cause mostly are kidney problems because of the contrast we use, and patients with diabetes and hypertension, which make up a large number of our patient cohort, also have kidney problems. And again, angiography can also harm the kidneys. It is essential for any critical care place to have an excellent renal physician. In that we have Dr. Jayabalan.
And not forgetting, we have got 2 vascular surgeons. And these vascular surgeons treat you know, other diseases outside the heart, involving vessels, of course. And they don't just do operations, but they are accomplished interventional, endovascular interventionalists. So they actually do things percutaneously, like with cardiologists. So this is something that I think in terms of having a fairly wholesome way of being able to treat patients in a cardiovascular center.
Okay, now this is Dr. Sharifah taking the team and our Prime Minister through the recovery area. You can see it's a large recovery area which can accommodate up to 8 or 9 patients. And now they're walking down the main corridor that leads them to the cath labs. Cath labs means cardiac catheterization laboratories. And at the end of this corridor is Dr. Razali's playground. It contains lots of beautiful, colorful lights. It's like a fairground, and that's where he spends hours in the dark manipulating wires. And that's Dr. Razali, and he's going to show us some of the things he does there.
Yep. So Razali is well known in the Asia-Pacific region for his work, and his main EP, electrophysiologist, means say treatment of rhythm disturbance, either slow or rapid rhythm. So, you know, for slow rhythm, he puts in pacemakers, and we now have the up-to-date pacemakers, and I'm sure they're going to focus on a pacemaker which is extremely small. At the same time, for rapid, abnormal rapid rhythm disturbance, he actually so-called ablates them. He cooks them or he freezes them, depending on the type of lesions and the equipment. So we have got actually all the equipment in the lab, so this is something which is we're very proud because at least we know that for majority, or if not all, rhythm disturbance can be treated in our center.
Now, if you saw those colorful images up there, which is currently being blocked up. Yeah, there we are. These colorful images are images of the atrium of the heart, the two chambers at the top of the heart, with a special mapping device called the Kato mapping system. It basically gives a 3D impression of the electrical flow within the atrial chambers. And for people who have fast heartbeats, tachycardia we call it, Razali can actually manipulate catheters in there and destroy the circuit that causes this problem. It's very neat, it's very elegant, and looks very pretty as well.
There, I think, well, we can't really see it from here, but we have this called vitamin pacemakers. Last time pacemakers is the size of the fist, but now it's just a small size. And in patients who actually, who benefits from this can be put in. And knowing that it's very small and very niche, then it's much easier to put in. And
Razali was part of the team that originally did the initial research with this pacemaker worldwide. And so he's associated with this particular device in this region.
Yeah, obviously it must be small, isn't it, the way he's pointing it. All right. One of the things that we are actually proud for CVSKL is that we have 3 cath labs and 2 OTs. So a lot of private hospitals actually have 1 cath lab, and we managed to convince the investors that 3 cath labs and 2 OTs would be beneficial. It was actually cost effective, and we got at a very good price for all these 3 cath labs. So that is, and we don't have to fight with each other for time.
Not yet.
Not yet. Extremely important. Yep. So you can't really see it, but the pacemaker is very small, and that's very small indeed.
The catheters that are used to map the atrium are sometimes multiple. You can put up to 4 or 5 into the heart, and the X-ray image of 5 wires in the heart is quite mind-boggling. But he seems to be able to find his way around very happily with the aid of these devices, and able to pick very localized areas to do his electrical his radio frequency ablation, which is where he cooks the site of problems, or he actually freezes sometimes. I don't know when he decides to use what, but he has all the kitchen tools there to do a good job. Now, he is meant to spend 2 to 3 minutes here, but knowing Razali, it's hard to stop a man in mid-flow.
All right.
We've done how many pacemakers here? About
I'm not really
85.
Yeah, it's quite a lot of pacemakers. I mean, the numbers, obviously, from coming from people who actually worked or have been known to work in the new hospital, we are doing fairly well, I think. We've had about 16,000 outpatient visits, 4,500 patients in health scan alone. There were 80 surgeries being done, vascular surgeries and intervention, 320 of them. We have done about 650 angiographic procedures, out of which about 400 are angioplasties. So for 400, we anticipate that we're probably going to do about 550, which for a new first-year hospital is actually very good.
And the patients have been doing well, thank God. Yeah.
Certainly. So just to share with you is that one of the things that was promised to people like me, for example, is that we are able to continue with the work that we have done in the previous place. And I must say that I'm very pleased that I have been able to continue. For me, it's complex angioplasty, so I've been able to be supported by my friends, both from inside and outside the hospital, so at least we get cases to be done in the same way. Otherwise, I'll be bored to death. The same thing with Razali, the same thing with all the other colleagues of mine, they have actually been able to continue doing what they have been doing before.
We are indeed blessed because we have a great surgeon and John Chan and Tan Sri Yaya. And we also have, commonly acknowledged, one of the top interventional cardiologists in the region. So patients with severe coronary disease now have an option between bypass surgery and stenting. Now, a large majority of patients obviously definitely only need bypass, and they have good surgeons to do it. Some patients definitely only need angioplasty, and we have a good team of people who can do that. Sometimes patients fall in the gray area, and then this is an area of much discussion and debate. The patient has a choice in that situation, which choice to make. Now, Rusli is greedy on the side there, hoping he can mop up some of these cases because he feels that angioplasty in these situations is a better option. And the surgeons obviously feel their mode of therapy is better. But this leads to healthy discourse, discussion, and we use the current medical evidence to guide us what is best at the time. Because the landscape in cardiology changes every few weeks. And we try and sit on top of this by having regular meetings, case presentations, journal discussions, and this hopefully keeps us all in tune with what is going on.
Yeah. But one thing is that the way that the technology has gone by and the expertise is that we can actually offer patients alternatives rather than just surgery. You can think about other options. And this is something which is I think is going to be good for the population. So
Shravan, can you go up and tell Razali to stop talking, please?
3 minutes has gone to about close to 10.
At last.
Okay, that's a 3D mapping. So that's the first lab. He should stop over in the second lab, will you? Salvam, he's bypassing the second lab.
Tan Sri has just bypassed our cath lab, where we work.
7 of the 8 cardiologists work in that cath lab, where, the angioplasties are done and all the other exciting stuff is done.
Just because it's not colorful and flash, we get bypass. Yeah.
Okay. This is now the hybrid lab. As I said to you, is an operating theater with imaging, a cath lab at the same time. So you'll see afterwards how the cath lab is being shifted over. So that's a table where the patients can be operated on and also to have interventional procedures on. So percutaneous intervention. That's YP Leong, one of our 2 cardiovascular surgeons. Yes, yeah. Vascular surgeon.
Dr. YP Leong and Tan Hong Hian were both with Kim Tan and I at Sunway, and they are widely regarded as the most senior, experienced vascular surgeons in the country. We're very, very happy to be able to woo them over to join us here to complete the cardiovascular angle of our hospital. Yeah. And he didn't have the opportunity to have such a flash lab before. Now he's reveling in it and doing a lot of procedures.
So you see the cath lab over there, the catheterization equipment over there that will swing over. And this is actually the first hybrid lab in a private setting in Malaysia. But it's good working with surgeons because, 2 of us also do some peripheral work at the same time, vascular work. So with the surgeons around, as I say, they complete the picture and we are actually working together. And that is something that I did not get the opportunity in the past. And now we're actually working together, working with the surgeons in doing vascular work. So that's where you see the imaging that is going to be brought in and used to image the patients like when we do angiogram angioplasties.
This theater can be used to do a bypass operation as well. And that robotic C-arm thing that's moving around can be actually moved completely out of the way to free a nice big area around the table for a bypass or any other cardiac operation to be done. So it's a very flexible and a very, very special operating and imaging area we have.
So they've done about 320 vascular procedures. So that's a big number.
If you're wondering what vascular surgery is about, they deal from everything from simple varicose veins to the most threatening of all cardiovascular problems, a ruptured aortic pipe, which is the main pipe out of the heart. These patients normally have a 50% risk of dying, even in the best hands. So now with this team here, we can image these patients very quickly and choose between an open operation or a stenting procedure where we put a big metallic mesh into the aorta to plug up the bleeding source and potentially and hopefully save the life. So this is what Dr. Leong and Dr. Tun do in the vascular arena.
Yeah. But mainly also is the growing concerns about patients with ischemic limb. Means to say that the legs are not receiving enough blood supply, they can have ulcers, they can have infection, and a lot of patients are being sent to the orthopedic surgeons where they chop off the leg. But if a person comes in very early, this can be salvaged by interventional procedures like this, whereby we image the blood vessels of the leg, open it up, re-establish flow, and allow healing to happen. And this is a shift that we have to get away from, because if you look in the West, they do lots of interventional procedures to try to save the leg, and that is save the foot. So that is something that one needs to at least remember, that it can be done.
So whilst we do the same thing for smaller arteries in the heart, they do these procedures on arteries everywhere outside the heart. So that's how we complement each other. Of course, they can't deal with moving objects, whereas we can do that.
Okay. Wow, YP Leong is also taking a bit while. So once again, the imaging is on the side. So 2 days ago, I was also involved in a procedure together with the surgeons. So it is, once again, it's very fulfilling to be able to work together for the benefit of patients. So
to see a surgeon and a cardiologist working side by side, hand in hand, smiling at each other is a joy to behold. I think after this, they will be going to
the OT.
The operating theater. We have 2 operating theaters. And this, as you heard, doubles up or triples up as a operating theater as well. So at the moment, we've never really been pushed to fill all 3 at the same time. But we hope that day will come when we are as busy as that. This is a completely sterile area. Obviously, today it's been de-sterilized by all these people, and as soon as they leave, or I wouldn't say contaminated because these are respectable people, but de-sterilized, and then after this, the whole team will go in and clean the place up again, disinfect, and do all the protocol of making a room fit, medically safe for surgery.
You know, one of the reasons we're doing this live feed, is for the benefit of MHTC. Knowing that, we have these facilities, and, we hope that they will also be able to, inform the people outside our country that we have other centers as well. Yeah. Are there any questions from the floor? If you want to just ask any queries, we'll try to answer it, as we go along. Any questions from any one of the members of my family?
My wife, my mother, my father, any questions? They know it all. Just raise your hands and the mic will come to you.
Yeah.
Feel free to ask anything, no matter how silly it may sound to you. Does Kim Tan have any questions? Is he there? He's gone already. Yes, microphone, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Assalamualaikum. Datuk, since you mentioned MHTC, then I have to ask question. I'm Shirin from MHTC. Actually, in terms of medical tourism, one key factor is in terms of capacity.
Yes.
So how do you see all this in terms of the number of procedures, etc.? How can you cater for the locals and the foreigners alike? I mean, what is your maximum, optimum capacity for each of the procedures?
Do you know numbers to calculate? At least I think we have got lots of capacity to improve. The labs may actually be full in terms of at least a number of days can actually be full, but we can actually have more capacity. In terms of numbers, I don't know the exact numbers.
No, I think we have a capacity to grow by another 70% volume-wise.
Yeah.
For procedures, we're opening our second ward next week. That would be 2 full wards, an HDU which has 7 beds, an ICU which has 7 beds, and a day ward. So we're hoping to do more and more day cases. So even angioplasty can be done as a day case. We do transradially, and the patients can go home on the same day.
Yeah.
So all these are things we can kick in if the need arises, if the volume is there. Certainly, I think we can.
Yeah. But I mean, quite pleasant for me. For example, my patients from Indonesia mainly, they come and follow us. And we have got a number of patients from around the region. Obviously, the same is going to be from Indonesia, but we have some from Bangladesh, Pakistan, and Vietnam, and so on. Yeah.
You'll be pleased to know Rosli is working very hard for you. We cannot find him any weekend. Nick, he's never around the weekends. He's running away to Burma, to where else? Indonesia, Bangladesh. He's a honorary.
Yeah, but that's CSR for me, because we sort of do cases with doctors over there, and to try to help them and up to speed, and that's something very satisfying for a number of us here. So please, I hope you are supportive of the management of me going on leave, and it's counted as marketing.
Well, we'll have to look at the numbers.
Excuse me, doctor.
Right, yes.
Yeah, just one question in terms of your pricing with the other specialist hospitals. Are you comparatively, with such sophisticated equipments that you have here, are you comparatively in par with the other hospitals in terms of pricing?
Okay. That I would like Suran to do, but I know it is. But maybe you can you have had experience before.
Well, we have tried to price ourselves as the cheapest private cardiac facility in the Klang Valley. We are able to do this because we all have agreed that we want to treat volume, not just treat few people and charge a lot. So we are already tied up with most of the big insurance companies, and they've pegged us to a low price, and we try and match our cash-paying patients' fees to that. So I think you can ask lots of people who have already been through us, look at their bills and ask them to compare if they had treatment in other hospitals before. In the other area, our pharmacy team is phenomenal because they've really managed to drive the prices of our drugs so cheaply that people from outside our hospital come and buy drugs from us. So we're priced ourselves just above the cheapest retail pharmacies in the Klang Valley area. So, I mean, we hope that we will maintain this pricing. And because we are such a big bunch of cardiologists together, our requirement for devices, for balloons, stents, drugs are finite and limited. So we can push the companies that provide us with these things really hard because we buy in bulk. And they know that with all of us here, they're going to shift quite a lot of bulk through us. And with that, we have leverage to bring the prices as low as we can push them. And we hope we can sustain this and maintain its position as one of the cheapest places.
So those who have heard otherwise, saying that we are the most expensive hospital in Malaysia right now, is fake news.
Unfortunately, I think some of you may think our facility looks quite glam, but it really isn't as expensive as it looks. Patients get put off by the appearance, and we were a bit phased. We come from, not so glam-looking working places before. So once they've seen the bill, they feel a bit more relieved.
So that's the second OT. and it's both OTs are fully equipped.
That's Dr. John Chan on the left, and of course Tan Sri. This is where they live. Tan Sri insisted on a window in his operating theatre, and we had to go back and carve a hole in the wall after we had completed the whole operating theatre. But he's much happier for it. He likes to look out on brick fields for some reason when he's operating, but I can imagine why he likes to have a window. We like dark caves. We live in caves, cardiologists, because we need no light in the cath lab to work.
Yeah.
But it's different in an OT.
Dark is good, means that you can continue working. Razali is in again.
What? As long as he's not talking, we're all right.
He is a great trainer. He teaches very well. The other thing is close to some of us is that not just service, but we also like to do some research. So we've been now starting to dabble with research together with some of the other centers in Malaysia, and that is something which is keeping some of us going.
So they're passing the other OT on the right and entering intensive care unit. So patients straight after the operation, they're wheeled out, and they 20 yards down, they're in ICU. So they don't need to be pushed and shoved all over the hospital to get to ICU. It's very convenient.
We have 7 ICU beds and another 8 high dependency unit beds. So out of 60 beds, 1 out of 4 is actually so-called intensive care, which is a very good number.
Our ICU sister, Sister Amrinda, actually looked after Dr. M during his last operation at IGN. Yeah. So I hope he gets to meet her today, and I hope she's there. She's our head of ICU now.
Yes. So Tan Sri really loves windows.
They're now looking over Sentral Station.
But windows in ICU setting is very important. I think it gives you a bright, environment. You're not too cooped up. Otherwise, you get depressed. So large windows are very good for places like this.
I like to think one of the best things of our hospital is the transport hub nature of it. We have KTM. So I have patients from Klang who will come very easily by train. They don't have to worry about driving. They don't worry about parking. We have patients from all over the Klang Valley, which is served by LRT, and now our fantastic MRT. We have monorail that comes straight into the station as well. And we have the ERL. So much so we had a patient from Bandung who came to health scan for a checkup. He flew in on a 7:30 flight or something, took the ERL, came in fasting, did his blood test, did his checkup, and he took the 4 p.m. flight back to Bandung. And that's the advantage of us being where we are. They don't have to worry about taxis and grabs and fighting the traffic of KL. They can actually come straight into the station, and we are just across the road.
Ms. Amarunda is there behind Tun Siti Asma. Yeah. Anything else? MHTC?
Any questions?
After this, Tun is going down to the health scan. you know, HealthScan was a success, well, not was, is a successful entity that was, where was it before? Near
Menara Hong Leong.
Hon Leong.
In Jalan Kiapeng.
Yes, and you know, how's your feelings, Suren? You're part of it, you build it, and now HealthScan is now in CVSKL. What's your feelings about it?
I think both Kim and I, Dr. Kim Tan and I are very happy to be in CVS because we are more confident to do our scans and things in a safe environment, knowing there's a hospital backup. And we have a team of good people to refer all our patients to.
Yeah.
We even have gastro solutions for patients who we find gastroenterological problems.
Yeah.
And it's nice for all of us in the same place under one roof. And I enjoy not commuting from PJ every day.
You know, if you go outside, we have got 2 CT scans, right? 2 CT scanners. And if you go outside, there's lots of number games. 256, 512, you know, whatever. But the more important thing is, of course, the CT scan must be of good caliber to be able to give you sharp images. But to me, the most important things are the people who reports the CT scans. Then you need people who are experienced, who have been involved in it, to be able to give you more accurate results. And this is something that I've been you know, quite happy with Suren and Kim, who actually reports the CT scans, especially Conries, and Mariam, who reports for the other CTs.
Dr. Rosli, sorry. There are some questions from the floor.
Yes.
I'm here.
Yes.
Asking on behalf of some of the guests.
Right.
So we are a cardiac and vascular hospital.
Right.
But there's some people are wondering, why is there a gastroenterology unit in the hospital? Do you mind sharing? Or do you like Dr. Ganesh to answer that question for you?
Where's Dr. Ganesh? Maybe he should
Dr.
answer
Ganesh,
this.
would you like to take that question?
Ganesh?
Why do we have a gastro unit in
Why
a
are you
cardiac and
here?
vascular hospital? Surin, isn't that obvious, Surin? Anyone with chest pains, could be reflux disease. Anyone with a cardiac problem can get a gastro problem. And one of them is bleeding in the stomach. So here we are to make sure that you guys go through procedures safely without any problem. So one of the things you have to do is remember, your disease is not a single entity. Cardiac doesn't mean cardiac. Sometimes you have another alternative problem. Example would be, we had VVIPs who were admitted for cardiac problem, and those days when I was in HKL, we used to support IJN with our gastro service at Dr. Rosli.
Yep.
And don't you appreciate us, Dr.?
Oh, yes. The ones that we have, I mean, gastro is something that we like to have as much as possible. It's easy. As you know, if bleeding in the ICU, patients cannot be transported out. And here we have gastro services coming in, helping us with acute cases. And in fact, it's quite common, as you said, that even the elective cases with abdominal pains, you think it's gastric, and you just refer it, and the service is there every day. So it's very welcoming.
Are we not efficient, Dr. Rosli?
Oh, yes, of course.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
And as I said earlier, gastroenterology is an important component of our health screening at HealthScan, where they will be going shortly, because as part of the health screening, we do heart screening, brain, and abdominal pelvic screening. And if there's suspected problems in the GI system, patients obviously need scopes. And part of health screening is also colonoscopy to rule out early cancer. So again, they can do this for us, and patients get a total checkup in one day over one visit.
Yep. So I think they are now on the way down to the HealthScan, right? HealthScan is situated on the first floor. It's easy. You just go up on the escalator, and there it is as it opens up. It's a one-stop center.
HealthScan was started in 2004 in KL, as you heard. And when we moved here, it actually has got much busier, thankfully. We've done about 26,000 CT angio heart studies since we started. And we also do cancer screening. And we have about between 10 to 25 patients a day. It can fluctuate. And we do between 10 to 15 CT angiograms every day.
Yeah.
So we complement the team upstairs.
Doctors, I'd just like to interrupt shortly to announce that Tun will be moving to the final part of the tour shortly. But we'd like to invite guests to kindly enjoy some refreshments perhaps filling your bellies will help spur more questions. So we'd like to invite you to also indulge in some of the refreshments that we have, which is served on my right. Please do kindly enjoy yourselves, and the two doctors will be continuing their elaboration of the tour. If there's any questions.
Anyway, I've seen two people who are involved in IGN Foundation. So that top one, Aisha Ong, and also Dato' Io, whom I've had the privilege of working before. So who knows, if we got CSR, we'll sort of get you in and help us out.
Thank you. On that note, Dr. Rosli and Dr. Surin, perhaps you can take the questions
thank you.
off stage.
All right, thank you
and
very much.
also join our guests for some refreshments.
Okay.
Thank you, doctors.
Thank you.
Once again, we'd like to invite everyone to kindly join us for some refreshments as the Honorable Prime Minister visits the final part of the tour.